All right, we finally have some new information for the upcoming update 1.34. This was posted over on the official Last Standard Discord and in our Discord channel because we get all the official links. Here is the first look at the new storage for explosives, which is teased or which was released as part of the roadmap update. This is really kind of the first big news that we've heard about, in addition to a few other small tidbits for this upcoming update. It looks like it is closing in, which is pretty good. Pretty hopeful for that. We've got some additional little piece of news that we'll share here shortly, but I want to cover this really quickly. The neat part about this ends up being that a lot of these materials, probably the biggest one that becomes a huge space saver, is going to be stackable C4 in this. Now, you have some other materials, things like mines, and you've got your gas cylinders, your gunpowders, your thermite. All of that is stackable currently, so we'll have to see exactly how this storage works. My hope is that it works very similar to things like the electronics crate and a handful of other stuff, storages that we have in the game right now, where those will be bigger stacks. I think that would be really nice. I do like this. I'm kind of curious to see like how this is going to sit in the base and kind of like how big it is and stuff like that. As I do like the idea of it. I think the whole container is pretty neat. You've got this like, you know, bomb secure safe type storage going on, and I think that is pretty cool. So you know, you've got a couple other things. I think just alone the fact that they're taking and making C4 stackable in this container, and I believe it's just going to be this container. We'll have to wait for the update just to confirm that. But that should be a huge space saver. Again, if you are raiding or working on getting prepared for raids, you know that you could pretty easily fill up a chest with C4 if you are doing your alpha runs and getting your floppy disks, maybe spending some time at transport hubs. So that I think is going to be really good. The rest of it, again, if it works similarly to other crates, and those stacks end up being a little bit bigger, that could be good. If not, I hope it's a pretty large storage. I think one or the other option will work really well, but having those be stackable and have a lot of opportunity there is pretty neat. So we're maybe kind of in, we'll call the sneak peek season, I hope, for this new big update 1.34. And maybe some more to come with that here pretty quickly. We also got another little sneak peek. Let me swap over and we'll chat about it. Okay, shout out to DesQ. I'm not sure where exactly this came from. The update is not currently live, but I did want to share this. We finally got a little bit of info, at least a sneak peek screenshot of the Easter Madness event. Got bunnies at home, they need your help. The Easter locations are swarming with zombies. You clear those spots of the undead and earn reputation. It will grant you Easter eggs that are highly valued in the black market. The event commences on April 10th. There's premium rewards for reputation, information window that pops up when you exceed the infected genome limit in the Genesis collection, and many fixed bugs. Now, this is a handful of days away still from at least the recording of this here on the 4th, and you know, it'll be interesting to see. I'm surprised, and a couple, Cross and a handful of others in the Discord and in the comments asked about an Easter event. We have pretty much always gotten one. It seems like even in past communications, it's not like a forgotten event, but it kind of just like pops up. We do something. Like last year's, it was interesting because last year's we got the carrot machine, which was like a pretty cool-ish reward. It's not great. It's neat. It's different. Value is up for you to determine. You know, if you were able to get it, you probably didn't really need it. It's kind of one of those things that'd be really helpful for earlier players because you could just get carrots every day, and then sometimes you get lucky enough to grab what you saw in the explosives container, which is the carrot grenade, which is a really fun grenade, by the way. It is cool. It does look really cool. But so it looks like we're gonna have this back. It looks like it's going to be a location clearing event. Typically how those works is you clear the locations as they pop up. You again grab whatever the reputation or the eggs or whatever it ends up being this go around, and then you have the ability to trade those. It mentions the black market and the Easter eggs, so it seems like that's going to be what you do there. You could trade that through, get certain specific sets of rewards. Every time it feels like the system for which they use for that black market trading is going to determine, in my opinion, how good the event ends up being. Sometimes they do a really good system, kind of like the commune, where you have multiple little black market areas that you can trade. Sometimes that's not the case. It's interesting that they talk about premium rewards for reputation. There's a lot of discussion around that. So hopefully we get some more info, but just a little sneak peek here of what's coming up. And there is an Easter event on its way. That should hopefully fill the space here in April. And then I am hopeful that we will see some more of the roadmap updates coming up here really quickly. I do want to jump to the roadmap, so let me bring that up and chat about it for one quick sec. Okay, so it actually looks like all of this is pretty well in line to what we'd expect for the roadmap. I know I got another comment or two on a previous video about like, where is this? This ran from the March through June, so we're kind of in that middle space. If you see on the events line, we got Leprechaun's Luck and got that updated event. We now got the Easter Madness and the Storage for Explosive both coming together. So seems like that is moving in the right direction. Anniversary should be coming up, and then you saw delivery as well. So I would expect those probably, late April, early June time frame. And then hopefully we're seeing I would anticipate, this is just my guess, but I would anticipate late June, mid to late June, we're seeing kind of big new region update. I am hopeful that some of the other quality of life changes maybe come in between that. Specifically, I don't know what happened there. Specifically, the ability to select the number of items during crafting, I think would be really neat. We did see the Fair Workbench change, so that is cool. And then obviously we have a few others that they have talked about or have not talked about. So just kind of want to give everybody an update. Seems like we're generally on pace. I know obviously we're all hopeful and excited about a big update, but I kind of expected this sort of flow. And if they can just keep the events rolling, go to April, let's get this Easter Madness event, we get the new storage, and then from there we get the anniversary, and then hopefully at that point we're talking about the major update with the new region. It should keep us pretty well engaged, pretty well invested. Obviously the storage for equipment, I think is going to be a big one. Another big one that I'm excited for is additional bench upgrades. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with that. Obviously weapons, bosses, locations, we'll dive into all that good info when we get it, but looks like we got a exciting still couple of months here, hopefully, for Last Day on Earth. And yeah, that's the news here for you today. Let me know thoughts down below. Easter Madness on its way, storage on its way. One last thought here, and I just want to share this just in case this ends up being the case. I'm not saying it is, I don't have any info, but I would not be shocked, unfortunately, if the storage for explosives was tied to the Easter Madness event. Typically, at least for last year or two, we have seen a pretty neat top-end reward. I talked about the carrot machine that came last time with the Easter event. I'd be a little disappointed if that ends up being the case, just because I feel for the folks that maybe don't get an opportunity to play during this event to then have access to it. It could be something that we see that comes around once a year. That would still kind of not be great. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully there's an additional storyline or additional quests, or maybe we can even like just build it, craft it ourselves. Could be pretty interesting. But I will say it also wouldn't surprise me if it was tied to that event. So this Easter Madness, when it comes up on the 10th, might be something that you want to pay attention to. Again, when we get more details, we'll be sure to share it. But don't be surprised if that is what lines up. That's kind of sometimes how that goes. I will look back at last year's communication and see, but I have a feeling like the carrot machine kind of same deal happened around this, and that was the top end reward for the Easter event last year. So I don't have any info, but I figured I would share that. Again, we'll bring you some more details as soon as we have them, but hopefully you're excited. Looks like, again, we're on track for the roadmap. Let me know your thoughts down below. I mentioned the Discord if you want to join us. Links in the description. Hit that subscribe button for us. We would appreciate that too. We're on the way to 10K, our next big channel milestone, and just appreciate all the support. And looks like, again, we got a pretty fun March, April, May, June. May, June. We got 2 more months in between May and June. But looks like at least we're sort of on track with everything coming to the game. So excited for it, and some new events to check out here in the next little bit. Thanks for watching. Peace.